After cruising all three premium small ship lines in 2025, we're ready to reveal which truly wins for luxury and value. None is perfect, but see if one emerged as our slow travel winner.
Hey, I'm Mark.
And I'm Monica.
We've been traveling the world nearly full-time for the last 3 years. We're about to share with you our favorite premium small ship lines. We're going to be comparing Oceania, Azamara, and Viking. These are the three that people come to us all the time when we're booking cruises for people and ask us about when it comes to smaller ships, more premium lines with pretty amazing itineraries. So we really want to break these down for you as the differences, the pros and the cons, and maybe help you pick which one is going to be best for you. We've actually had the experience of cruising all three lines, so that's really going to help us give you our honest opinion, honest verdict of what we find, and then we'll also pass along to you the feedback that we get from our clients who have been on one or all of these cruise lines. There really is some big differences. As similar as these cruise lines are, you really cannot go wrong. They all do so many things well. There are some very distinctive differences. They're all trying to have a lot of all-inclusive or close to it type sailing.
Oceania would be more for foodies, luxury. They've got, we call it a country club quiet sort of atmosphere, very elegant for discerning travelers who love culinary excellence and more refined surroundings. Azamara will be more of a vibrant atmosphere. They really lean into the culture and destination immersion, distinctive for its late night stays and overnights in ports. Viking is an adults-only environment. They're the only ones that specify that they're 18 and up, and they have the very minimalist Scandi style.
I think for our experience, and there's a big difference depending upon which type of ship you're on. With Oceania, if you're on the newer ships like the Vista and Allura, very modern, very upscale, very sleek overall. If you're on Oceania with Riviera or Marina, but they're a bit more of that old world design. I wouldn't call them modern at all.
Traditional.
Yeah. And then Oceania also has Renaissance class ships,
which ironically are the same 4 ships as Azamara. They also have 4 of the original Renaissance ships.
Yeah, and that'll be a different experience because those are the smallest of the Oceania. So with Oceania, you got to be really, not careful, but know which one you're getting onto. The overall experience should be kind of similar, but your hardware, the ship itself is going to be dramatically different. Azamara, all the ships are basically the same. There's small differences between the 4 ships. They're dated in some ways, meaning the bathrooms are kind of tiny on the standard verandas, but you can also sail inside an ocean view. So if you want really low, really great pricing, then sometimes Azamara has an advantage. Viking has beautiful modern ships, no inside cabins, no ocean view cabins. So if you're looking for true economy, you're not going to find it on Viking, but every cabin will have a balcony and very modern, sleek design, as you would expect, that Scandi design. So remember, there's some real differences here. This should help you understand some of the differences. I think this on the screen really is going to give you an excellent idea of what's included. Like I mentioned, they all seem to include most everything, and they always leave something out. Viking Ocean does not typically have gratuities included. I know for some of you, maybe when you booked, gratuities have been included as a bonus, but they're not standard inclusions, whereas they are with Azamara and Oceania. Viking Ocean includes a guided shore excursion in every port. The other 2 do not, right? So there's some trade-offs. Oceania is updating their program soon where they're going to include some shore excursion credit. They're adding that back in, but they include their specialty dining, just like Viking does. So you can see there's always a little bit of a trade-off here, pros and cons. I don't feel there's a clear winner here. I think they're all very close to all-inclusive, not quite there, but I think it's a pretty even battle overall. Would you agree?
Yep, absolutely. And you can pick and choose based on what's important to you.
A bit of an on-screen comparison cheat sheet. This is really to help you. Go ahead and pause the video, take a screenshot of this. Again, your experience in Oceania is going to be very different depending upon the ship you're on. Our favorites, honestly, are Vista and Allura. If you can get on those ships, we think it's an amazing experience, but they don't always have the most creative itineraries. You're going to find that on the smaller ships like Insignia,
Nautica.
By the way, some of those ships are being retired. So coming up here over the next couple of years, they're leaving the fleet. It's really going to be Riviera, Marina, that version, then going to be Vista and Allura, and they even have a newer class coming out soon as well. So really make sure you know which ship you're on. Azamara, pretty much the same ships overall. We've been on 3 of the 4. You can tell little differences, but you're not going to experience much of a difference. And Viking as well, extremely consistent. All the designs are the same. If you walked aboard a Viking Ocean ship, they're all going to be the same, but that's actually a compliment because it's really a great design.
Yeah.
You want to add?
Azamara, you may know, used to be part of the Royal Caribbean group until around 2020. Then they went off on their own. They have the smallest ships except for, of course, some of the Oceanias. 700 or less guests. So if you really want a small, more intimate environment, Azamara is going to be great. It's, as a smaller ship, also super easy to get around. One of the benefits of Azamara and the small ships are being able to get into those small ports as well.
Yeah, they have some really amazing itineraries. And that's why you see even more overnight, long late night stays, maybe a bit more creative on the itineraries as well. Also, the ships, even though they're older, they're well cared for overall. Dining is really good on all three of them. Some of the people listening to this video, go ahead and put in the comments down below. You're going to have your favorites if you've sailed on these. Dining is so subjective. I don't think you're going to be disappointed with any of them. Oceania really bills themselves as the best dining at sea. It's debatable at times. I was really happy. I thought the dining on Vista when we did it was the best that we had on Oceania. I think Azamara, pretty consistent, pretty high quality, a lot of nice choices despite the ship being smaller in the dining room. I thought the specialty restaurants on Viking are better than on Azamara with Manfredi's and Chef's Table. They have the edge on Azamara overall, and they are included. It's a little bit of an added cost on Azamara. And Oceania, their specialty restaurants are included and probably a notch above Azamara.
Let's talk about some of the staterooms. We mentioned with Viking, all of their staterooms are veranda staterooms, which is nice. You don't have to feel guilty about not choosing a balcony. One thing I love, and it kind of leans into their Scandi style, is having the heated bathroom floor, which is really nice, especially when you're sailing Viking in a colder climate. Oceania also especially their newer ships, super modern, very tastefully, nice design. I just really enjoy the Oceania style. Azamara is going to be updated, but still a little more dated, particularly the bathrooms that tend to be too small with the shower curtains instead of a shower door.
If you get one of their suites, they're really nice. But the standard veranda cabin, insides and ocean views are going to be quite a bit smaller than some of the newer, bigger ships. So that is definitely the biggest strike for Azamara. Some of the furniture is a little bit dated. It can be a little bit scratched here and there. Super comfortable. But again, we always try to tell people going into that, you just need to be ready for that. Don't be surprised when you see you're not going to have a glass door on the shower. It's going to be a curtain. Not everybody likes that. Without question, I would say probably for me, number one here would be Oceania. If you're on the newer ships, just slightly behind would be Viking, and definitely Azamara. That's going to be the one weakness they're going to have. Comfortable cabins, you'll be fine, but it's not going to be one of the big advantages of sailing on Azamara. Service, I think, really pretty consistent across the board. We've always sort of found like Azamara, again, being very casual, comfortable. That's why I think everybody gets along on this ship. Found like we talked to way more people on Azamara compared to Oceania and Viking, just because I think it's just a bit more of that relaxed atmosphere. Yeah.
Yeah, that struck us immediately the first time we took Azamara. And it's been that way every time.
Monica mentioned earlier, Viking leans in more towards the educational side, the enrichment side. So if that speaks to you, no casino, then you're going to be definitely enjoying Viking a little bit more as far as that goes. If you like, I feel like that where you go, that immersion into the destination, I don't think anybody beats Azamara. I mean, we've done multiple on all of these, and I think they really lean into that heavily.
Yeah, Azamara is all about the destination, and that's why a lot of their itineraries are intensive. Destination itineraries like the Japan intensive or the Ireland intensive.
Iceland.
They're all about where you're going and enrichment and learning about the culture. Viking, since it's a more sophisticated environment, you don't have children on board and you have the lectures instead of the casinos and things like that. So more refined some of the other cruises out there.
One thing I'm going to say, though, we've been on Oceania multiple times in Azamara, and while it is not 18 and up, I don't know if I've ever seen a child. Maybe we did, maybe somebody had a baby. So you're not going to see a lot of kids running around. They're not going to be interested in these kind of sailings. So I don't really worry about it in all cases. If you want to guarantee, then Viking is going to be your choice. Oceania has got some really great culinary classes. It was one of the favorite things we did on Vista. We did a review. I'll put a link down in the notes to that specific review. We've done reviews of all of these. And we'll put some links in the descriptions where you can catch specific, but that was one of the favorite things that we did on those ships.
It wasn't just a culinary class. It was in a purpose-built space for teaching the culinary arts.
Let's talk a little bit about pricing. This is price per day for 2 people, because this is really where it matters. Don't forget on Azamara, because you've got those inside cabins, those ocean views, you can get the price down quite a bit. So if that's of interest to you and you're fine with inside an ocean view, you can almost cut this in half. But I wanted to compare everything equal with balconies. So this is a price on average for 2 people in a balcony cabin across hundreds of sailings. Okay, so Azamara averages $886 per day for the 2 of you. And that's pretty much all included. Yes, it's going to be higher than your contemporary lines like Celebrity, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Princess. It's just a different experience altogether. You have 75% less people on board, as you can imagine, higher levels of service usually, more inclusions. It will cost more. Next is Oceania, about $100 more per day on average for a balcony. The most expensive is Viking. Viking averages about $1,292 per day. Keep in mind, they do have an excursion. It's not always the best excursion, but you get a free excursion in each port. Inclusions are fairly similar. This has been our experience as well. When we've booked these from clients, this is the order that I would put on how much it's going to cost you to be on one of these lines. Now, if you want to sail Viking because you want that amazing experience, do a repositioning cruise, do a transatlantic, do a repositioning down into South America, do one in Asia. A lot of times you can get about half that price. So it is possible to get prices like $600-700 a day for two people, even on Viking, if you're a little bit flexible with when you go, shoulder season, maybe a repositioning. People do that all the time who want to have the experience. Same goes for Azamara and Oceania. If this is too high above your budget, but you want the experience, we can find you definitely sailings that will be within your budget. Some sailings to look at just to give you a feel, a vibe for what these cruise lines do. This is Viking Ocean, Mediterranean Odyssey, the British Isles Explorer, the Vikings' homeland. I mean, what better place to do a Viking ship than, up into Norway and Scandinavia and do the fjords. Some of the pricing here per person, it's not inexpensive. You saw my averages. So this would fit within that price range overall.
Here are some of our itinerary picks for Azamara. Like we mentioned, these are destination intensive. We've got the Japan intensive, Alaska. They're new to Alaska this year, and they have cruise tours as well. Solar Eclipse Tour, our cruise in the Mediterranean. That one's in August of 2026, and then the Japan intensive in 2027.
They will have, like Monica mentioned, a lot of the intensives where they'll focus on certain countries, certain regions. So if you're really into destinations, think about Azamara for sure. Oceania has got some really amazing sailings as well. Depending upon the ship is how flexible they can be with where they can get you. But on the Allura, the new ship, you've got this really great around the boot in 2026. Alaska, they're going to be there as well. Oceania leans into a lot of world segments and cruises. If you're into 30, 45, 60 or more day cruises, look at Oceania as well because they do a lot of point to point. That's another nice thing. These are not a lot of back and forth round trips like your contemporary cruise lines. They'll continue on these sailings a lot of times going around the world. So pretty much anywhere you want to sail, really on all three, you'll be able to do. Fair balanced assessment between the three. If you're really leaning into culinary, maybe Oceania would get the win there. They're all good. I think I would give them the win overall, and probably the newest ships, I would give them the edge.
So the destinations, albeit with older hardware, that would be Azamara. You can't really go wrong with them. If you're really into the destinations and the culture, you will not be disappointed.
If you really want overnights, long stays in port, not leaving till 11 o'clock at night, that really casual atmosphere, a bit more like a river cruise in a way than Azamara. And Viking maybe kind of like balances everything there a little bit. It does cost you a little bit more, but there's a lot of inclusions outside of maybe gratuities. You don't have to spend that much extra on a Viking cruise. You have such a consistent number of ships and program and experience. They have tremendous loyalty. When we talk to people on board, like on Azamara, people have been on 5, 6, 7 times. On Viking, it's the same way. So Oceania as well. So there's a lot of loyalty once you get involved. So our verdict overall, we would say choose Oceania. If you're a foodie, you're into the newest hardware. If you like that refined, quiet luxury, still very modern, that's going to be your great choice. Azamara, if you're really into the destination immersions, that's going to be your best choice and probably your best pricing. Viking is going to be the most expensive if you want adults only. If you want a really predictable, very consistent overall experience that people just really love overall. A few bits of advice from us. We always say book early. Do not wait. Prices go up. They tend not to go down. These are very popular cruise lines. The best itineraries will go fast. The nice thing about all of these is they tend to have their schedules out way in advance. So you can do 2027s, even 2028s in some cases right now. By the way, you can work with us. We can personally get you a quote on any of these. So if you want to do a Viking, Azamara, Oceania, or really any major cruise line, we're more than happy to do that. Just go to the QR page and we'll get you a free quote. We'll give you our opinion. We'll always throw in some extras like onboard credit and exclusive perks. The link is on the screen as well, digitalromads.com/cruising.
Have you sailed any or all of these? Tell us your favorite. We'd love to know. Vote down below, Azamara, Viking, or Oceania.
Yeah, leave that in the comments down below. Watch these videos. And with that,
See you out there.
see you out there.